Thank you for joining us here at the First Alert Desk on Atlanta News First Plus. I want to start by taking a live look outside at Metro Atlanta. Beautiful weather we're having today as we hopefully you are enjoying some of the warm-up we've seen compared to previous weeks. Atlanta News First and First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazi will be joining us here in the next few minutes to break down your weekend forecast. As I know it's the middle of the week and a lot of us are starting to think about those weekend plans, but this is Catch Up Quick, so we want to start by taking you through the stories making headlines this Wednesday morning. And I want to start with taking you out to Buckhead, where police are investigating a shooting at this Dunkin that you're taking a look at right there. Atlanta News First reporter Blake Devine is at the scene on Piedmont Road near Lindbergh Drive with the latest on what we know.
Buckhead, looking over at a Dunkin' Donuts where a shooting happened here this morning. Right now there are several police here on scene. The Dunkin' is currently closed. You see that police tape right outside the front of the restaurant. Here's what we know. Officers, they were first called here about an escalating dispute around 7:30 this morning. According to Atlanta police, a man was grazed by gunfire and a suspect is now in custody. Keep in context, we're on Piedmont Road Northeast, quite close to the Lindbergh City Center. Both the suspect and injured man have not been identified at this time. We're working to learn exactly what led up to this shooting, which took place here this morning. For now, reporting live in Buckhead, Blake Devine, Atlanta News First.
And shoppers and really patrons of the mall in Cobb County, the Town Center Mall, were caught off guard when suddenly they found themselves shut out of this mall right here that you're taking a look at. The reason, apparently not an unpaid power bill. Atlanta News First Chelsea Beinfor reports with what customers and shoppers came to just yesterday.
I was coming to return some shoes that I had purchased, and I see everybody standing at the door.
Shoppers and store owners equally confused to find Town Center Mall closed on Tuesday.
And I see that there's no lights, but I'm just like, what's going on with the mall? It says they open at 11.
A sign posted on the front door says due to unforeseen circumstances, the mall is closed at this time. No entry until further notice. It's signed by mall ownership group Cohan Retail Investment Group.
We tried calling Cohan directly first, and they just said it was news to them. They didn't know that the mall was closed, and then they tried to redirect me to mall management.
Shane Starr owns Starcade, an entertainment center and repair shop filled with cult classic arcade games. We were the ones to break the news to him that the mall was behind on paying their electricity bills.
All of our assets are locked in there, all of our tools, all of our, parts for customers.
In a statement, Georgia Power said in part, "We've tried to work with Town Center Mall for many months and have provided numerous solutions to assist them in avoiding disconnection. Unfortunately, any customer that is highly delinquent in paying their bills ultimately has a negative impact for all of our customers. We can no longer continue to extend the grace period."
Every day that it sits, empty, every operator here is losing money.
Unfortunately, Star is not the first tenant to deal with this. According to reports from some of our gray media affiliates, malls in Marshalltown, Iowa and Presque Isle, Maine also went dark after Cohan failed to pay utility bills at those properties. A report from Marquette Township, Michigan also says Cohan failed to pay property taxes on a mall there last August. Online, the Better Business Bureau gives Cohan a C+ rating for failing to respond to complaints filed against them.
I'm really, really hopeful that the mall will reopen. Maybe this is just a clerical error and Cohan just happened to forget paying their bills for months after months after months.
Chelsea Beinfor, Atlanta News First.
And important information here, the mall's website states that it will open at 11 a.m., so in less than an hour, the mall's owners taking to their website to thank shoppers for their patience and understanding. And I want to talk about this next story capturing national attention, and now we can finally see it in front of President Donald Trump. A bill named after Georgia nursing student Lakan Riley, who was killed by an undocumented immigrant, is expected to be signed into law. This comes as federal agents continue to arrest undocumented immigrants across the country. Atlanta News First Sarah Hammond reports from the state capitol.
Good morning. A White House official says that President Trump is expected to sign the Lakan Riley Act into law today. It would be the first piece of legislation that he signs during his new term, and it comes after immigration was a rallying cry throughout his campaign. Now, it requires the Department of Homeland Security to detain undocumented immigrants for certain crimes like theft and burglary, or those resulting in death or serious injury. It also gives legal standing to state attorneys general to sue the federal government for harm caused by federal immigration decisions. Most lawmakers who voted for the measure are Republicans, but dozens in the House and the Senate are Democrats, including Georgia Senators John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock. And Democratic Senator Ruben Gallego, whose parents are immigrants, co-sponsored the Lakan Riley Act.
Americans are very clear. They want more border security, but they also want an opportunity for sane immigration reform that stabilizes and fixes our broken immigration system.
Criminal networks that have brought devastating crime to American soil, we're getting them all out.
Many Democrats voted against the measure in the House and the Senate, arguing that it strips away due process rights to immigrants, and there is also no additional funding included in this bill. At the state capitol, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
And a judge in Gwinnett County is sentencing 3 men in connection to the 2022 murder of a father and coach. David Booker, Miles Collins, and Josiah Hewley sentenced to life without the possibility of parole on the charges of felony murder as well as street gang and gun possession. The trial lasted 2 weeks. The 3 were convicted of murdering Bradley Coleman, a father and high school football coach, during an attempted carjacking at a Quick Trip gas station in 2022. Coleman's family got up and gave very tearful statements to the judge, pleading for the maximum sentence. Collins, after learning his sentence, turned to the victim's family and said, "I hope you are happy," causing an emotional reaction in the courtroom and the judge having to pause before proceeding with the sentencing. And this story, a little on the lighter side, as I'm sure we want to end on a good note here, a major milestone in the creation of U.S. Soccer's new headquarters and training center right here in Metro Atlanta. A ceremonial bean signing and raising was held at the future facility in Fayette County. The campus will feature indoor and outdoor fields, locker rooms, meeting spaces, offices, and more for all 27 U.S. teams. The new Arthur M. Blank U.S. Soccer National Training Center is slated to open in April of next year. So not this April, just before the FIFA World Cup, and preparations are already underway for that. I know all my soccer fans are excited, but we still have a long way to go. Taking you more closer, as I mentioned at the start of this stream, we want to take a look outside at beautiful Metro Atlanta as we bring in First Alert meteorologist Courtney Giacobazzi with a look at the forecast closer ahead.
Yes, and we have some beautiful weather on the way. Obviously, it looks great out there right now, lots of sunshine, and that will continue through the day today. But I think what everyone will be able to get behind is the warmer weather that is on the way this week. We have high temperatures that will approach 70 degrees. But until we get there, we do have to talk about a First Alert weather day that is on the way for Friday. We do have a moderate impact on your day if you're kind of out and about on Friday, smack dab in the middle of your day, picking up the kids from school, going to lunch on Friday. Rain will be likely, and it does look like a few storms will also be possible. The good news is it doesn't look like we're going to have any severe weather with this particular system, maybe just a few rumbles of thunder. In fact, the cold front that's going to bring us the rain will weaken as it moves through the area. So not a washout, not going to stick around all day, but we'll time it out for you in just a few minutes. It will have at least some impact on your Friday. That's why we're giving you that first alert to give you that heads up. In the meantime, today will be stunning. Get out and enjoy it, taking you hour by hour through the rest of your day. If you have any lunch plans, you could probably take it outside with lots of sunshine and upper 50s. That's going to feel comfortable in the sun. By 3 o'clock, temperatures climbing into the mid 60s, which is ultimately where we'll top out today. If you have any dinner plans tonight, temperatures are dropping near 60 at 6 o'clock. We'll go into the low 50s around 9, and overnight tonight, lows are going to drop into the upper 30s to low 40s. It will also be a little breezy today. We will experience wind gusts anywhere between about about 15 to 20 miles per hour with some isolated gusts as high as 25 possible. You will notice it. It'll add a little bit of a chill to the air, but overall, today is just going to be beautiful. So the wind is the least of our issues today, but you will notice it, so I wanted to let you know about it. High temperatures area-wide today, topping out again in the low to mid-60s. North of the city, low 60s. I think most of us will top out near 60, with the exception of maybe the highest elevations of the mountains, but heading south of the city, some spots, including Atlanta, will push 70 degrees this afternoon, and we do have some 70s on the 7-day forecast. Overnight tonight, again, mid to upper 30s to low 40s in the city of Atlanta, so very similar to where we woke up this morning is how it'll be tomorrow morning, stepping out the door for your Thursday, and then it is all about the warm-up. We're going to have a weather system out to our west that will be bringing rain and maybe some storms to parts of the Gulf states, but as that starts to move closer, we'll be under the influence of a warm front and the parent low that you're seeing there on your screen. The way wind rotates around low pressure is counterclockwise, so what that's going to do is pull in a more southerly flow, putting us under the influence of the Gulf of Mexico, which is obviously a warm and moisture-rich body of water, so that will pull in a warmer air mass into the southeast, including us here in North Georgia, and also pull in enough moisture to generate some clouds on Thursday, and then bring some rain on Friday as that front starts to move through. Of course, Friday being our first alert weather day because of those scattered showers and maybe a few rumbles of thunder to end your work week. I almost said start your work week, to end your work week. To high temperatures ahead of that, though, again, we're going to be warm first. Before that front moves in, we'll have warmer air pulling in from the Gulf and giving us temperatures like this, mid to upper 60s over the next several days. So if you like this afternoon, you'll like the next several afternoons. Let's take you into Friday and get you ready for that first alert weather day, get you ready for the rain. Friday morning for your morning commute, it looks like if you live northwest of Atlanta, so we're talking Floyd, Chattooga County, maybe Bartow County, parts of Fannin County, maybe even places like northern Cherokee County, you could experience some rain on your morning commute on Friday, but most of that rain will take over Metro during the afternoon. So if you had any lunch plans on Friday, that could be impacted by the rain. But for the evening commute on Friday, we do start to dry out. And if you have any Friday night plans, you're good to go. The rain will be out of our hair by Friday night, leading into a beautiful weekend, which I'll show you on our first alert 7-day forecast here. So overall, very minimal complaints this week. We deserve this warm weather, guys, after a few very, very, very cold weeks here across North Georgia. We'll be in the mid to upper 60s today. We're in the mid 60s Thursday and Friday. Friday being our first alert weather day. So even with that cold front coming through, not really going to impact our temperatures all that much. We'll still stay in the mid 60s. Then we get warmer into the weekend with highs closer to 70 degrees. Lots of sunshine over the weekend. The mornings stay a lot more tolerable. Still chilly, but not very cold like we were the last couple of weeks. Overnight lows generally in the low to mid 40s, a few near 50 sprinkled in. And then next week, as we go into the official start of February, we will have highs near 70 degrees, a pair of 70-degree days on Monday and Tuesday. Lots to look forward to in the 7-day forecast. I hope you enjoy it. All right, everyone, thanks so much for spending some time with us here this morning on Atlanta News First Plus. Be sure to download the First Alert Weather app. We'll continue to update you on your forecast right there. Turn on the notifications. It'll send alerts right to your phone as we continue to give you those updates. Make it a wonderful Wednesday and enjoy the beautiful weather.